In Alahiri, only light-skinned women were seen as beautiful. These women were chosen to marry princes and prominent men, while darker-skinned women were often ignored, no matter their grace, intelligence, or kindness. This cruel standard had been passed down for generations, and it ruled the hearts of the kingdom's people. Ziora was a dark-skinned beauty, a maiden with sharp eyes, soft skin, and a heart filled with compassion. She lived in a noble family, respected by many for their wealth and status. But even in her noble home, Ziora felt invisible. Her younger sister Oma was light-skinned, with golden hues that made her the darling of the royal court. Oma was set to marry Prince Obinna, the young and dashing heir to the Alahiri throne. Ziora was happy for her sister, or at least she tried to be. But every time she saw Oma surrounded by admirers, dressed in fine silks and jewels, Ziora felt a heavy weight in her heart. Why was she not seen the same way? Why was her dark skin, though smooth and glowing, not enough? It wasn't fair. One evening, as the family prepared for Oma's engagement ceremony, Ziora sat by the window, watching the sun set behind the hills. Her chest ached with envy and frustration. Oma's laughter rang from the next room as their mother fussed over the wedding plans. "You should be happy for her," Ziora whispered to herself. But her voice was hollow. She had heard whispers that Prince Obinna had once admired her from afar. He had even sought her out in gatherings, asking her opinion on matters of the kingdom. They had shared long conversations under the stars, but his eyes had always wandered to Oma. Ziora's heart had leapt when he spoke to her, but as the days passed, she realized that his admiration was shallow. In the kingdom of Alahiri, no prince could choose a bride who didn't fit the ideal of light skin. Ziora felt her heart break a little more with each passing day. One night, while the palace was preparing for the grand feast to celebrate Oma's engagement, Ziora wandered alone through the forest that bordered the kingdom. The trees cast long shadows in the moonlight, and the air was cool against her skin. She walked deeper into the woods, her thoughts heavy with sadness. Why must her worth be determined by something as simple as the color of her skin? As she moved through the trees, Ziora saw something unusual. A faint glowing light appeared in the distance. Curious, she followed it, her footsteps light on the forest floor. The light led her to a clearing where a woman stood, her figure draped in a dark cloak. The woman's face was hidden, but her voice was soft, almost musical. "Ziora," the woman called. Ziora stepped back, startled. "Who are you? How do you know my name?" The woman chuckled softly. "I know many things. I have watched you, child. I know your heart's deepest desires. You want to be seen. You want to be loved. You want to be beautiful." Ziora's heart raced. The woman's words pierced through her like arrows. "What do you know of my desires?" The woman stepped closer, revealing a pale hand from beneath her cloak. "I know that your sister will marry the prince, but in your heart, you wish it were you. You wish you could be the one he chooses." Ziora's throat tightened. I don't wish harm on my sister," the woman smiled. "Perhaps not, but you wish for more. I can help you. I can give you the beauty you seek." Ziora frowned. "How?" From her cloak, the woman produced a small, ornate jar filled with a shimmering powder. "This is a rare gift," she said, "a magical powder that will lighten your skin. With this, you will shine brighter than your sister. The prince will see only you, and you will become the queen." Ziora's heart pounded in her chest. Could this be real? Could this powder give her what she so desperately wanted? But as she looked at the jar, a flicker of doubt crossed her mind. "What is the cost?" she asked, her voice wary. The woman's smile faltered for a brief moment, but then she whispered, "The only cost is your desire for it. Use it wisely, and all you dream of will be yours." Ziora hesitated. A part of her wanted to refuse, to throw the jar away and return to the palace, But another part of her, the part filled with years of longing, reached out and took the jar. "I'll think about it," Ziora said, her voice trembling. The woman nodded and faded into the shadows, leaving Ziora alone in the clearing with the jar of magical powder in her hands.